Hello. My name is Dr. Rebecca Wagenbach, and I'm going to be your professor for the American Government POLS 1113 class online this semester. I do apologize. I was kind of brought in um, at the last minute. They added this class to accommodate um, enrollment needs, and so we're just waiting for some technical things to get figured out. Hopefully, by the time I post this video, they will be figured out already. I do want to go over just a few things with you guys and introduce myself and kind of talk about what I am like as a professor. Um, So I am a Northwestern alumni. I got my bachelor's of mass communications from there, as well as my master's of arts and American studies. And that is the degree that actually sort of qualifies me to teach this class. I have 20 graduate hours in political science specifically. And then I have my doctoral degree in public administration, which is similar to political science. It looks more, political science is honestly more of the bigger look at things, whereas public policy and public administration is actually in the weeds with the details doing the work. And so it's very connected, and that is why they reached out to me to teach this American government class. I'm a professor at Oklahoma Panhandle State University. Been out here for 4 years, and and so I'm really excited to teach, people back from where I'm from. I'm from Kiowa, Kansas. Um, Obviously, like I said, I'm Northwestern alumni, so Alva is home to me. And so, um, just so glad that you guys are here in my class. So one of the first things, since I don't have access to the Blackboard shell yet, I do want to touch just a little bit, on the syllabus and the book. And then that's all I will have you do today. And then once I have access to the Canvas Blackboard shell, sorry, we use Canvas here. Once I have access to the Blackboard shell, um, I will maybe help you navigate that if you still need have some questions or issues. Um, Share my screen here. Okay, so hopefully this is working. Um, so as I said before, this is POLS 1113 American Government, spring of 2026. Um, to get points in this class, that's what I'm assuming most of you are going to be interested in, but since we do have the textbook here, I'll go over that. Um, I'm going to delete this message here. That isn't needed. Uh, so we are using an online open source free textbook. You should not have to purchase this textbook. You can pay to have it sent to you, but you can also, like I said, use the online version for free. You can also, I will show you here in a second, download PDFs of the online version. You can download different sections of the online version. And so that is what I recommend. But we'll go over that here shortly. How we get points in this class um, will be basically through the discussion board modules and the quizzes. So each week you will have a discussion question and a quiz. And they're worth 10 points apiece. So each week in this class, you're looking at about 20 points. I have 15 modules, and so there's 150 points total for those items because there are 10 points apiece, 15 modules. I think you guys can do the math. We are also having a midterm, and that will be online, multiple choice, on Blackboard. There will be a media project. Part one is picking your topic and telling me why. I will have templates and examples for you on that. That is due February 28th, and then part two will be due May 5th. And then your final exam, also held online, um, will be open and available during finals week. I do have a discussion board rubric here. And so that is what you need to be looking at to see how deep, how you need to do this. This is a college class. I do expect some deeper thinking than maybe what you were expected in high school. Um, I really don't want you to use AI. Please do not use AI for discussion post. I want to know what you think. I don't want to know what AI thinks. And I'm not an English professor. I'm not going to be grading your syntax or your this or that or I mean, I prefer you to use capital letters when you're supposed to use capital letters and punctuation, how to use punctuation. But other than that, I'm not looking for upper level scholarly writing. So there is absolutely no need to use AI. The questions will be questions that if you are a breathing human on this planet, you should be able to answer without going to AI. I don't ask a lot, so please, please, please use your brains, not the computer. Um, you're only screwing yourself out of an education if you use AI to answer questions. Um, I will say that I know, um, if I ask you an opinion and everybody seems to have the same opinion, that's how I know you guys all put it into AI and came up with the same answer. And I will be calling out on that. So please, 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 please don't use AI. During the media essay or the media project, there may be some uses for AI, and we'll discuss that as we get closer to that. So moving on from the syllabus, I do want to go ahead and share the book with you to navigate that. Make sure my screen is sharing. Okay. So this is our book. It's at openstacks.org/detail/book/American government dash 3E, but the link is there in the syllabus. It will be there in Blackboard. You should not need to look too far to find this. So it'll take you right here first. You can buy a print copy if you would like to. Like I said, you don't have to. You can also download a PDF. Um, like that. I'm not going to do that right now because I've already downloaded it to my computer a number of times. What I recommend doing is going to view online, and then go to your book. And this is where we will begin. So I just, like I said, want to help you navigate how to read this book when I assign it. This week, due to the late nature and start of the class, I'm probably just going to have you read the syllabus, and introduce yourselves in the introduction chat, and then we'll hit chapter 1 next week. So that does put us a little bit behind, but we'll I'm pretty good at making things work the way I need to. So like I said, this is the book. We will go through it basically chapter by chapter. So the first section, American government and civic engagement. Or the first section is actually students in the system. We'll go over the Constitution and its origins. We'll go over federalism. Then we'll look towards agency and action. What's actually happening? What are we doing? What's the history of that? And so we'll talk about civil liberties, civil rights, public opinion, voting and elections, how those work. And then we'll look towards collection active action. So all of these will be individual rights and things that we can do as individuals. Voting is obviously an individual activity. But then we'll talk about collective activities. So the media, huge one, political parties, and then interest groups and lobbying. Um, and then we'll talk about the formal institutions, Congress, the presidency, the courts, state and local government, um, and maybe get to touch on the bureaucracy of local government and all of the little different what I call alphabet agencies that we have under the U.S. government in this class, but we'll just keep push it on to see who has what. I do expect you to read the chapter that I assigned to you. They are not long. As you can see, this is the chapter outline. Um, I mean, it's literally, no, this is the third page. I mean, we're looking at a total of uh 5 web pages to read for per chapter. So not that hard. Key terms I suggest you take a look at because those will be in the quizzes. Review question let's go back to summary. Summary here. I found this tool to be very useful, especially when just like it takes everything, puts it into a paragraph. So if you're absolutely not going to read the 5 web pages, please at least read this one web page, so that you're getting some information. Review questions here. Like I said, those are another area where I get quiz questions. And so I would check that out. And then your critical thinking questions will be similar potentially to the critical thing or your discussion questions will be similar to your critical thinking questions. And then suggestions for further study. I don't expect this, but I do believe that it's important that if there are any aspiring political science majors or even people wanting to go on into public administration or politics, this is where you start. This is where you learn. And so I do recommend, as a college or potential college student, checking out some of these suggestions here for further study. And then that is a basic overview of the book and what we'll be doing here in this class. I will do a lecture most weeks. I will go over a PowerPoint and upload that PowerPoint for you to have as well. Um, but there is also a series of lectures from the U.S. Constitution Center that I also use for this class. I also use crash course videos just as a kind of a brief review. Um, and I think that they're important and have important and fun information in the little graphics. And so I do share those with you as well. Um, and so what I need from you is for you to spend 3 hours a week consuming the information that I have put on the internet for you and then doing the work, the discussion question, the quiz, and responding to a classmate. Um, and as I go through, discussion questions may be more than just critical thinking questions. They may be projects or fun activities, just depending on what um, what I can develop. This is with AI, as much as professors hate it, it is doing some really cool things as far as hands-on or learning activities online that, we've never really been able to use before. The general format, since I've been a college student, or a grad student, I didn't really have online classes as an undergrad. In fact, I am not I did have one online class. It was graphic design and I got a D. And that was my one online class experience as an undergraduate. As a grad student, I was half online for my master's and then my PhD was fully online. So I am pretty well versed in being an online student. And so I just ask that you treat this like a college class, not a high school class. Um, I ask that if you are falling behind, that you reach out to me. I'm actually very easy to work with as long as you let me know what's going on. If you if I don't hear from you, you're not posting any work, you're not doing any work for most of the semester, and then you come back and are like, "Hey, my mother died or my grandpa died or I got really sick or I had a mental breakdown." I need to know before or while that's happening. If you're coming at me at the end of the semester with excuses, I can't help you. That's just not fair. And so if you work with me, I'm willing to work with you. Please feel free to email me. That is the best way to contact me since I'm, of course, not in Alva. Um, but if you need anything else, if you need anything at all, I'm available by email and um, the messaging functions in Blackboard. So that's where I'm going to end it. I hope that we all get a lot out of this and that I hope, maybe some of you decide to be political science and public administration majors there at NWOSU or wherever you choose to go. So, all right, that's where I'm going to end it. Look forward to having you guys this semester. Thank you so much.